side. There's John Force. Ron Capps is also in this. There's Ron. We got a glimpse of Matt Hagan and Ashley Force Hood. So what in reality we have is the Don Schumacher Racing Team versus the John Force team. Hagan, Force, and Capps.
It's Goliath versus Goliath. Two huge teams on the property, but as you take a look at how they got there, remember the highlighted names are the ones that advance into each round to get to where we have the ultimate matchup here. I think we have the 4 best cars in the final right now.
Yeah, that's what's worked out very, very well, is to see the way they've come through, and then you look at that lineup for the championship round, and it is stout. And Hagan, just think about all of the issues he's had. He's still got a sore wrist and sprain. On Saturday, here's what happened to him and the car.
This was in session number 3. As it went past the finish line, it exploded big time. The rear wheels were completely off the ground. Matt Hagan was in for a ride, but the team completely repaired that car and actually came back and made the 4th and final qualifying session just to make sure everything worked out right, ran a good number. And then since they've been in elimination, that car has been very stout.
Well, John Force had the choice. He's taken lane 2. Ron Capps is over in lane 1. Lane 4 is Matt Hagan, and Ashley Force Hood sits in lane 3. I give them to you in that order because that's what they consider to be the best order of lanes. 2, 1, 4, 3.
Everybody's pre-staged. Here we go. John Force.
John Force, I'll tell you what, who would have thought it? Well, a lot of people would have, but he always comes through and he runs 3:16.23.
How about that?
Ashley Force Hood is the runner-up. She ran a 3:16.38, fastest ever.
I tell you, 4:03 and a 4:04. I'm talking about John Force and Ashley Force's time. You saw Ron Capps have some trouble towards the finish line. Had a pretty good run going up until the finish. He went 4:08, and Matt Hagan had problems right at the beginning. As you take a look at the photo finish, there it is, John over his daughter by about 3/4 of a car length.
And in terms of bragging rights, John Force Racing has them over Don Schumacher.
You want Ashley too?
Well, John Force out of the car, plenty excited, wants to go down and congratulate and celebrate with his daughter, Ashley. Okay. John, obviously very, very fired up. You won the first showdown versus Top Fuel Cars, another Bruton Smith special in 1999. People are going to start thinking you guys got a relationship now.
That's why we always joke, Brute Force was my original logo in the early days, like Snake and Big Daddy and the Mongoose McEwen, and I only shortened it because of Bruton. But he's just a great guy, what he put on here. And for the fans to hang out here till Monday, what mattered to me the most was to beat that Schumacher team. Ron Capps, absolutely right on top of the game, one of the best. And my daughter Ashley to come in second, a father and daughter. Where you at, baby? She's pissed at me, I can tell. Okay, I'm back on the couch. But
so many big wins. So many big wins. Where does this one rank?
Well, it's right at the top because it'll never happen again. You know, the first one, it was kind of like Cheryl Greer, you know, winning the first ever funny car championship. But what I got to say is, I ain't getting no younger. I'm trying to stay in the game with Capps and Robert Height with that Auto Club car and Hagan and all these guys and Ashley. But Castrol picks the right partners. They picked Mac Tool, they picked Brand Source, Auto Club, and Ford Motor Company. We all do it as one. That's what it's all about. We got this win 4 lanes. God bless America, full throttle, and the soldiers overseas. And I may have a beer.
John Force hoists that what even he says is a very special Wally, and coming from the winningest man ever in funny car, that's saying something.
Well, John Force would deserve to have a beer after this performance. He came in this race all upset about the trees and said he couldn't figure it out, but I think John was just playing all of us because he was flawless in his driving, and Mike Neff and Austin Coyle gave him a flawless race car to get the win. Just a very, very good performance by John Force, and got to give credit to Ashley because she was right there too.
So John Force the winner and the runner-up. Let's go to Dave Reef again.
With the other 3 combatants in this funny car final, Matt Hagan, weren't real sure about this 4-wide coming in. A great weekend, especially after what happened to you.
Yeah, I think, you know, our die-hard car ran pretty good this weekend. It's one of those things where you get in the final and it's anybody's ball game. You know, we wish we could have went down the racetrack and did a little better. It just went out there and shook a little bit. You know, we've got a lot of tough cars out here, so, you know, congratulations to John, but we sure would have liked to got that win this weekend.
Ron Capps, it's tough to beat 1 force car. Apparently even tougher to beat 2. How disappointed are you right now?
Well, I'm very disappointed. You know, we had a great car all weekend, and really felt like we had it. You know, we lost lane choice. We knew the second lane there was the lane of choice. We had it all weekend and ran great over there. But Ace made a good call. It was actually lit up on fire at half track in the left bank. So as I'm going down there, I saw fire. And all you can do is run it down there and hope that you don't see anybody and the force popped out my window. So, you know, Napa guys did a great job.
Ashley, your dad obviously knows you're upset. You certainly would have loved to have won that. Matt Hagan was the speed record holder. You just went 3:16.38 in your funny car. Is there any consolation in being the fastest woman at 1,000 foot? Person at 1,000 foot?
That's good. This has been a weird weekend, and no, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for that team. I'm happy that we were able to run her up, and I just really didn't know who won. No, I think my radio came unhooked. I couldn't hear anything happening, so I knew I'll just get out at the end and see. But we'll just gather our stuff and head on to the next race.
Thanks, Will. Give me a hug.